Today, we're going to cover 5 mistakes that I see a lot of businesses do in government contracting. I'm going to show you the exact 5 mistakes, how to spot them, and 2, how to avoid them so we hopefully make less of them in the future. Not starting early and avoiding forecast and sources sought. And I've talked about this a lot, but still to this day, many businesses ignore sources sought and forecast, and they only bid or they only engage with an agency when they see an RFP or a solicitation, which unfortunately in most cases it's just too late. Now, first, let's actually break this down. What are forecasts and sources sought? Every federal agency is required to release a list of forecasts. So let's say the DoD, they have to buy pens in 2026. Well, in 2025, 12 months or 6 months before that, they have to list that as a forecast. So they would say something like, we plan to buy this many pens for this much in this location. Sources sought is a bit different, is when an agency releases a sources sought, they're asking for information, they're asking for expertise to come and help them with their expert opinion. Now, why is it crucial to actually reach out to agencies and establish relationships in the forecast or sources sought stage? 1, we're using that as a way to develop a strong relationship with the agency. 2, we are able to establish ourselves as a source of expertise in that specific niche. So let's say we're talking construction, you come in, you help them shape up the requirement, you answer their questions, they now see you as a source of expertise in that specific topic. 3, and most importantly, when we are talking about sources sought, what they want to develop in most cases are the requirements for the solicitation. So you coming in with your expertise and telling them what to do, you are helping shape up the requirements of the solicitation. You also understand the competition, so you see if there's an incumbent, if there's a business that already has a contract, why they want to open it up for competition again. And you could actually get a chance ahead of time to prepare a winning bid well in advance before it becomes a request for proposal. So early engagement is crucial. And if you're not doing it, you are missing a huge part of government contracting that all successful government contractors do. Now, the second mistake is not subcontracting or leveraging partnerships. If your sole source for government contracts is sam.gov and finding contracts on there, you're missing a huge part of the pie because almost 65% of contracts awarded to small businesses are done through subcontracting. So that's a huge portion of the pie. But going solo limits your growth. If you're trying to handle everything on your own, and in the case where you are the prime contractor, you have to handle the finances, the accounting, the headcount, the bid, the proposal, dealing with the agency. It's just a lot to handle. So as a small business or even any business, you have to subcontract. Even large corporation, billion-dollar corporation, they subcontract. Sometimes they go as a prime, sometimes they subcontract. It also opens up a lot of doors for you. Some contracts you would not be able to win as a business by yourself as a prime contractor, but with subcontracting, you could potentially get on that contract with another company that they have won the contract. And also with partnership, you're kind of getting with collaboration, they would use your expertise, you would use their network, their expertise. Combined, you would end up, in most cases, actually doing a pretty good job. So, and that goes on your past performance, and it helps you in the future win government contracts as a prime contractor, or even with other subs if you want to establish your name in the industry. Third mistake, and it's also about relationship, and it's not establishing or failing to develop relationships with other businesses or government agencies. Government contracting is all about relationships. It's relationship driven. And if you have a weak network, well, that's going to reflect in the results you're getting. So if you establish yourself and you spend a lot of time reaching out, connecting with agencies, connecting with small business specialists, as I have shown you in my earlier video, connecting with agencies, small business specialists, connecting with other businesses that are established in the government contracting space, or even small businesses that you would like to help, work with, subcontract with, you have to have a circle of successful government contracting businesses, or even also another one for government contracting agency. They want to help you. They want to see small businesses succeed. So reaching out and establishing relationships helps you a lot. A warning sign that 19% of contractors report poor relationship with contracting officer. That's a red flag. That's the person in most cases who's responsible for awarding you a contract. So if you have a bad relationship, or even worse, having no relationship at all, will show in the results. So spending time reaching out, setting up meetings, emailing people will go a long way. Now, mistake number 4 is ignoring or not exploring the state, local, and education market. So going just on SAM.gov and looking at federal opportunities is nice, but it's not enough. We want to explore as many markets as possible. And many contractors just focus on federal, and they are missing billions available for state, local, and education. Now, you might ask me why. The SLED market is usually a lot less competitive, mainly because less eyes on it, less people are aware of these contracts in the first place, and usually their needs, the states, local, and education needs are different from the federal government, and usually the sales cycle is a lot easier and faster compared to the federal one. And also you diversify your income, so you're not only focused on federal agencies, you're also exploring state, local, and education agencies. So you have multiple streams of income, and you reduce the dangerous dependency on just a federal budget fluctuation, which we have seen over the past 12 months. There was a huge attack on multiple federal agencies. With the state, local, and education market, you're kind of hedging against that because that's not impacted at all with what the federal government does. Mistake number 5, which is not using AI-powered tools to help you in government contracting like SamSearch. It's no secret, I've shown SamSearch a lot on in this channel. My hope is that you use a platform that just helps you in general with government contracting, what you want in general. And I'm going to use SamSearch as an example. We want to find federal government contracts with ease. We want to be able to quickly make bid, no bid decision, be able to filter. For example, here we have simplified acquisition only filter that you would not have otherwise. We have all of these filters that make it super easy to find a contract that's a good fit for your business. You're also able to save searches, so you don't have to manually search every day. It will be able to pull these contracts for you. You have access to a state, local, and education database, the DIPS database, the forecast, which we have talked about as a way of getting early on in the sales cycle and establishing relationship with agencies. We have tens of thousands of these. Then you have subcontracting opportunities. So businesses that are looking to subcontract or they're obligated to subcontract by the government, grants, SBIR, STTR, the opportunity to actually look and find other partnership and established government contracting companies that you could reach out to, see their past performances, filter by NAICS code, filter by city, filter by state, or business certification. And also, if you want to establish relationship with other agencies, you'd be able to quickly find small business specialists that are paid to help you as a small business. And so you could win government contracts, develop relationships. It's a comprehensive capture tool that will just make it super easy for you to actually win in this difficult industry. I guess this is my way of telling you, if you're not doing that, a lot of other companies in the space are doing that. And you need a system like the one I've shown you with SamSearch that will just capture all of this in one place in an easy to process, easy to manage way. Now, how do we avoid these mistakes and make sure we win more contracts? One is we want to start early on in the process. So we want to engage with forecast and sources sought. We want to build strategic partnerships with other government contracting businesses and also with agencies. We want to expand our market, so we're not only focused on the federal market. We want to look at state, cities, local, counties, and education institution because we want to hedge against any fluctuation in the federal budget. We want to be able to get access to easier government contracts with easier requirements and, in most cases, a short sales cycle compared to the federal. And then we want to leverage AI technology to be able to do all of this in an easy, a straightforward and streamlined way. I like the way we do it with SamSearch, and I have a lot of videos on this, so make sure to check them out in the channel. I'll leave a link for SamSearch in the comments, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to answer. I try and answer all the questions I get, and remind me if I miss one. Sometimes I do. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.